got the bedding and I stretch before I wash my face. To survive, about to take him to another place. And she said I'm Superman to a lowest lane. It's out of game, no wise enough, need to clear the way. You gotta go, but to achieve it, you gon' need some faith.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Off the Bench. My name is Jorge. Off the Bench, presented by Diplomacy Clothing. Negotiate with style with Diplomacy Clothing. I'm a little disappointed as a Jets fan right now, y'all. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie at all. It's really tough being a Jets fan. In my time as being a Jets fan, I seen Darrelle Revis get traded. Before becoming a Jets fan, we had to hear John Abraham get traded to Atlanta. And those were by far the two best defensive players in Jets history. John Abraham being the one pass rusher that the Jets can't seem to replace. And Darrelle Revis, of course, being the best cornerback, one of the best cornerbacks in league history. And the Jets traded him for a couple nickels and dimes and an injured-prone D. Milliner. Joining that list, apparently, is Jamal Adams. You know, that safety out of LSU. 6th overall. Who considers himself to be one of the best defensive players in the game or in history. Fancies himself a Troy Polamalu-esque. And you know what? He's a great player. I don't see him as Troy Polamalu. He actually compared himself to Aaron Donald and Tom Brady at the trade deadline earlier this year. Last season. When his name came up in trade rumors, of course, because a player at the caliber of Jamal Adams always listens to those rumors, those trade rumors. Never once wants to talk about it with the team. When he does talk about it with the team, it's, you know what, I'll stop with the BS. Jamal Adams demanded a trade this week, and I'm not happy about it, because damn it, he's there for 2 more years. He's still on his rookie salary. And he says, oh, well, Christian McCaffrey, he got his deal with 2 years done. Yeah, well, Christian McCaffrey changed that whole Carolina Panthers offense. Mind you. Christian McCaffrey changed that entire Carolina offense with Cam Newton hurt. So the star quarterback has been injured. They've been having to trot out guys like Kyle Allen. And now he has Teddy Bridgewater. No doubt about it, Carolina Panthers are going to be a wild card team, if not challenge for the NFC North or NFC South title. Just saying. Secondly, it seems a wee bit familiar to Pittsburgh Steelers fans why Jamal Adams wants a new deal. Man says he is the best safety in the league. He is the best defensive back in the league. Wants to be paid like the top defensive players. Right now, C.J. Mosley, the middle linebacker, who had his season cut short last year, is getting paid $17 million annually. That's the highest paid player on the team. The highest defensive player on the team. Correction. So you would assume Jamal Adams wants something similar. He says he wants $20 million annually. And now he listed a couple of teams. He has a wish list, which includes the Baltimore Ravens, playoff team, okay. Philadelphia Eagles, playoff team, okay. Seattle Seahawks, playoff team, possible Super Bowl contender, okay. San Francisco 49ers, they were in the Super Bowl, okay. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, well, I guess Tom Brady's going to make them into a Super Bowl contender, if not a playoff team. Houston Texans, okay, they were in the playoffs. They usually don't do much noise outside of the wild card. The Kansas City Chiefs, yeah, the Super Bowl champs, okay, I can see that. I can see why you'd want to go there. And the Dallas Cowboys. All right, that's a hometown. That's where he's from. He's from the Dallas area, so he'd want to go home. All right, all those teams listed, all but one are playoff teams. And that's the Dallas Cowboys. Every single team on this list do not have the assets to trade for Jamal Adams. Kansas City Chiefs knocked them out the list. They have Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger. There's no way they're giving up on that guy. Alright, so Jamal Adams, sorry, you're not going to Kansas City. The Chiefs don't need you, nor do they even have the cap space to get you. The Houston Texans, I mean, if they had DeAndre Hopkins still, then sure, I'd try to weasel good old O'Brien into making another dumb trade and trading away maybe a Deshaun Watson, but the Jets are dead set on building around Sam Darnold. So bringing on Deshaun Watson for Jamal Adams, no, doesn't make sense. That's the only way the Houston Texans make sense in a trade. They're out. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, why would the Jets want to trade? It could be out of conference, sure, that could make sense because you don't want him in the conference, but you already made one bad trade with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You got D. Milliner out of that deal. Do you want to roll those dice again? And in that time, Darrelle Revis didn't make as big of an impact as the Tampa Bay thought, and they ended up being not so great. I don't think the same is going to happen with Tom Brady at quarterback. So they have to be out. San Francisco 49ers, sure, if you can find the assets. They already did so many moves this late early in the offseason. I doubt they had the assets to do it, to pull off a trade. The Seattle Seahawks, I mean, I don't know how you pull that off without asking for Russell Wilson. And that's the thing. All these trades, if Jamal Adams is the best player on the team, which he could be he's one of the top players on the Jets. He's a locker room leader, quote unquote. I'll get to that later. But you're not going to go to any of these teams and be like, oh, just give me a second and a fourth. No, it's going to be minimum 2 first-round picks because you're looking at what the top players went for, not the DeAndre Hopkins trade because that was a fleecing. Like NFL GMs are laughing at Houston for how badly they botched that trade with Arizona. But you're looking at at least 2 first-round picks, maybe a third or a fourth-round pick, and that's the minimum. That's the base. 2 first-round picks and a third or a fourth. You can include a bunch of players with that equal value, but again, 2 first-round picks. That's a quarterback, that's a wide receiver, that's an offensive lineman. None of these teams are going to give up any key additions. Baltimore Ravens, I mean, what are you going to do? Who are the Ravens comfortable with giving up plus 2 first-round draft picks for Jamal Adams? Dallas Cowboys, okay, maybe they can give us their 2 first-round draft picks plus Michael Gallup. But is Michael Gallup going to change the Jets' offense? He's just another wide receiver. The Jets need offensive linemen. So, automatically, this is a bunch of bullshit. Because these teams he listed, it's bullshit. They're all playoff teams. They all have assets that are either not worth the Jets' time, or just not. That's pretty much it. They're not worth the Jets' time. None of these teams can give you anything worthwhile to even listen to. And as far as Jamal Adams goes, this sounds like a Le'Veon Bell with the Pittsburgh Steelers, with the one exception. Le'Veon Bell did not have 2 years remaining on his deal. Le'Veon Bell with Pittsburgh was on the last year of his deal when he demanded an extension. And the Pittsburgh Steelers were not going to give him the extension with the money he was asking for. That's why Le'Veon Bell sat out that regular season. Because every time Le'Veon Bell wanted the extension, they franchise tagged him. And they franchise tagged him again. To the point where Le'Veon Bell said, well, you know what, fuck you guys. I'm still young. I want to earn my keep. So I'm going to sit out this season, become a free agent after this franchise tag is done. And then I'll just pick out teams that are willing to pay for my services, a la the New York Jets. Jamal Adams still has 2 years left on his rookie deal, and he doesn't even need to get the extension done this year. This year he can just play out. He's still making, I think, total he's making around $13 million for the next 2 years. He can play out this season, and then next season, the Jets can sign him to the extension he's asking for. For whatever reason, he's demanding it right now. And the Jets have a lot bigger needs than to secure Jamal Adams for the future right now. There's some impatience going on. And another thing that really bothers me is that Jamal Adams, he's a locker room leader. You know, you draft him, you bring him in to not only perform on the field, but be a locker room leader. And he's become a locker room leader. He's a captain. Every team he listed on his wish list is a playoff team, or, for the Dallas Cowboys' sake, on the fringe of being a playoff team. The Jets are not a playoff team. He's known this since he got drafted. The Jets are not a very good team. Hell, he even threw Todd Bowles under the bus and saying there needs to be a change. Mind you, Todd Bowles is a very good defensive mind. Greg Williams is a very good defensive mind as well. So that means through two great defensive minds that any other team in the league would love to have, Tampa Bay is going to love having Todd Bowles. He already did so much with, and that's the thing, with Todd Bowles and Greg Williams, with the Jets and the Buccaneers, both of them have exceeded expectations with the crap defense they've been giving with. And Jamal Adams is a part of that Jets crap defense. He plays safety, sure, they blitz a lot. Williams loves to blitz. Greg Williams sees Jamal Adams, says, how can I use the best defensive player on this team effectively? And the Jets have openly said, we want to re-sign Jamal Adams. But why now? What is going on right now? They already did the option to accept your extension for one more year, the 5th-year rookie option. So you have another year added on that's going to add on more money. And then after this year, you can sign your extension. But I guess when the Jets were 0-for at the trade deadline, maybe 1 or 2 wins at the most, at that point you got to blow stuff up. You're a terrible team. Your quarterback has mono. You're already in your second regime with the new quarterback. Le'Veon Bell is trying to do his best dancing behind a crap O-line, and the team was just not good last year. They weren't good Jamal Adams' first year. They weren't good his second year. Jamal Adams is not Aaron Donald, where in Aaron Donald, you put him on that defensive line, he will make that defense better. Yeah, Adams had that one amazing strip sack of Daniel Jones, but really what elevated that defense was the no-name cornerbacks that were helping out on the outside of Jamal Adams. He's a box safety. And yeah, he's a really good safety. And he deserves the money, but he does not deserve the money right now. He needs to play out this year, one more year with this revamped defense. They have more pieces on the corner. They have more pieces. They've done stuff in the offseason, is what I'm trying to say. The Jets offense has new offensive linemen. This team is different. It's supposed to get better. You went 7-9 last year when everyone in the world will think you're going to go 0-for-16. Jamal Adams, he's great, but he's not a game changer. He's not a Dion. He's not a Dion, right? He's not prime time. He's not out here playing safety and then playing kick return and punt returner. He's not doing all that. He's not changing the game that way. He's not elevating the play of the linebackers, the defensive linemen, the corners. Sure, you can blitz and have the highest number of sacks in a team. That's because of the scheme. He had a career high in sacks because they needed someone to pass rush. Because ever since 2005, when the Jets traded John Abraham, they do not have a pass rush. And let's not even talk about that. Defensive back. Jamal Adams, he's a defensive back. Yes, we agree. Darrelle Revis impacted the game more than Jamal Adams. I'm saying it. Not because of the interceptions, but because Darrelle Revis would lock down everyone's number one wide receiver a majority of the time, and that side of the field was practically eliminated. When Jamal Adams went up against Rob Gronkowski, there was really no difference on who was playing safety. Honestly, Gronk ran over Jamal Adams. It's just the honest truth. Jamal Adams is a great safety. He will get paid his $14-15 million. Maybe he'll get close to C.J. Mosley $17 million. But at this point, You're so late into the offseason. We have a coronavirus pandemic, which no one even knows whether football is going to be played or not. This is not the right time to demand a trade and demand a contract extension. And it's and I say it's bullshit because if you make a list of playoff teams that you would rather get traded to, and you say, you know what, I have 2 years left on my deal, I don't have to re-sign with you guys. I just want to play in the playoffs. Bro, if you elevate your defense this coming year, whether we have football or not, if we have football and you elevate that defense, that defense goes from whatever 20th rank to 10th, and and your defense is a big reason as to why you go from 7-9 to 9-7, 10-6, win the AFC East, and you're the primary reason on defense that happens, then sure, you can earn north of $17 to $20 million. But as of right now, your first 3 years, you're not that great. Sure, individually, you have great numbers among defensive backs. Great numbers among defensive backs. But you do not elevate that Jets defense. Or else, if you did, you would not have lost to the Cincinnati Bengals and Miami Dolphins when they were winless. Because a lot of that laid on the defense as much as the offense. Let's be real. You can keep playing that Daniel Jones strip sack touchdown. I love that play. But at the end of the day, safeties don't get that kind of money. The Jets are a team that would be foolish enough to give Jamal Adams the $20 million he wants. But at the end of the day, your team has a lot bigger needs than having to pay you the money you think you deserve. And as a Jets fan, it breaks my heart that one of our best players wants out again. Especially when his rookie contract isn't even done yet. He's looking at guys like Christian McCaffrey. Oh, well, they got money. Yeah, they actually changed their offense. Christian McCaffrey changed the Carolina Panthers offense. You were just added in. It wasn't until your third year that Greg Williams actually used you correctly. And even then, even before then, you threw Todd Bowles under the bus by saying we need to change, we need to do better. Todd Bowles. The guy who was supposed to become the anti-Belichick. The guy who's now going to coach the defense to help Tom Brady. And I could tell some of these teams is just laughable. Like I said before, Chiefs, good luck, you're not going there. The Niners, good luck, you're not going there. Texans, they already gave up everything they could for some stupid trades they already made. They don't have enough assets left to make any more dumb trades. The Seahawks, yeah, okay. The Eagles, maybe. But the Eagles would have to give up a lot. They would have to give up a lot. Same thing with the Cowboys. They'd have to give up a lot. The Ravens, they're not willing to give up jack. And the best part is, about this whole thing, it's so poorly timed that Jamal Adams has little to no leverage. The Jets hold the cards. They have you for 2 more seasons. Guaranteed. They hold all the cards and you demand a trade when you have 0 leverage? What the hell is wrong with you, bro? I understand if this is next season. If this was 2021, we're in June, July of 2021, and you're like, I demanded a trade. I don't like that that my name came up in trade talks in the 2020 trade deadline. I want out. This is my last year of my deal. Then I understand. Then I could say, you know what, bro? You're right. But you have 2 years left, bro. And by the Jets opting into your 5th year option, that means they want you, but they can't afford you right now. And you want to say, oh well, all these other players, they got paid. Well, look at Jared Goff. He got paid, okay, but have they done anything since they went to the Super Bowl? No. Sean McVay now, everyone was trying to hire anyone associated with Sean McVay. Now look at everything. Sean McVay isn't as great of a coach as we thought he was. They shipped Todd Gurley out. Todd Gurley got his money. They had to get him out. Now he's making the veteran minimum. Is that what you want, Jamal Adams? Is that what you want? Because that's the path you're going towards. At least Le'Veon Bell was in a reasonable situation where you could say, okay, the Steelers aren't paying him. They keep franchise tagging him. Bell clearly deserves his money. That's fine. But you're still under contract for 2 more years, bro. Stop it. Stop the nonsense. Play this season. If by the end of this season you're still not satisfied, you still don't think the Jets are a winning team, because mind you, Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski are no longer in this division. They're not in the AFC East anymore, Jamal Adams. So much complaining about how the Jets are losers your first 3 years there. You could change it. But if you don't want to be in New York, then that's understandable. But don't expect to go to a playoff team. Because playoff teams don't have the cap to sign you, don't have the assets to trade for you. And sure, he's on a team-friendly deal. It's a rookie contract. That makes sense for the other teams. But why would the Jets trade you when you are the most affordable you'll ever be? Why would they trade you? Oh, it's time to move on. Yeah, for you. The Jets don't have to move on. They could go on and say, you know what, bro, you're stuck here. Either take this contract that we're about to offer you, or you can play out you can sit out the rest of this year or next year and be a free agent then. And it's a real shame, because Jamal Adams, he definitely holds himself in high regard, which is what you want in a player. But he's no Tom Brady. He's no Aaron Donald. He's not even C.J. Mosley. I mean, Jamal Adams played a full year this year, and the Jets really struggled without C.J. Mosley, their highest paid defensive player. So you tell me, Jamal Adams, your teammate C.J. Mosley had a bigger impact on your defense than you did. So tell me how you deserve more money than he does. Any Jets fan can tell you, when C.J. Mosley went out with injury, that defense struggled. They struggled bad. Even with you there. So that's it. What do you guys think? Should Jamal Adams get traded, or should he get a new deal? Where do you think he'll go? Let me know in the comments on YouTube. Thank you so much for listening, however you may be listening, on Spotify, YouTube, or SoundCloud. Ladies and gentlemen, my name has been Jorge. I'm not giving my last name anymore. I'm going to try to keep that between me and the government. This has been Off the Bench, sponsored by Diplomacy Clothing. Make sure you follow them on Instagram at Diplomacy Clothing. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram at Off the Bench Pod. Roland is going to have his thoughts on the latest NASCAR news involving Bubba Wallace. So stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed and follow us everywhere. We'll see you guys next time.